Quantum of Solace. And if you think that title is convoluted, wait until you see this movie. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And that was Korey's review. Thanks.
Yeah, full price. No, I will admit right now that I did not like this as much as I loved Casino Royale.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I didn't either. In fact, I went back to be sure how I felt about this and just rewatched Casino Royale, which I now officially completely forgive the ending, which I didn't like the first time. I just didn't understand it. Now I do. I also have to say, if you're going to see this movie, for God's sakes, go watch Casino Royale again first, because there was so much shit in the second one. I was like, I have no idea what they're even talking about.
Yeah,
and it's because it refers to a really small thing that happened in the first movie.
See, and that's absolutely what I love about this film, is this film, unlike any previous Bond film, is a true honest-to-God sequel. They didn't just spin the wheel of villains and go off on another wild adventure. This movie picks up 5 minutes after the last film and takes us through what happens to James Bond next and where the story goes from where the last one ended.
And in this one, it pretty much is Bond wanting to get revenge for the death of his love, who is Vesper in the first film.
Yeah, Vesper Lind.
Who was the actress that played that?
Eva Green.
Eva Green, yeah. The girl is, I'll be mad as hell too if they took that ass away from me because she was fine.
And there's that whole mixed thing, because did she betray him completely in the first film? Or, as they insinuate, was there actually something else? Was she actually trying to make a deal to make him stay alive? Did she sacrifice himself? He doesn't know. And that's part of the whole, supposedly the drama overlaying Quantum of Solace, is that confusion with him. Is he actually getting revenge? Has he just said, fuck that bitch? But to come down, the drama's never really convincing, and that's part of the problem here.
I like the way Cyrus is very proper with the title. Quantum of Solace. What, you quiet over there. What's wrong?
Nobody's giving me an entrance to the freeway.
Oh, no, here you go. I'm moving on what? And
Welcome to my fucking world, all right?
Well, I just figured Cyrus wanted to do the whole review, so I was going to sit back and just let him.
Okay, now here's your chance. No, you have...
Wait, which movie is this?
You got the Soul Man. Quantum of Soul Man. No, you got the two opinions here. Two opinions. Me and Cyrus agree. You got Carlyle. So, which side are you on?
All right, well, you know, we a lot of times we've been splitting down the middle, and people want something more decisive from us. So the best thing for me to do is go ahead and agree with you and Cyrus. But I think you guys are wrong, and I think my man Carlyle is right on the money. I mean, the thing is, like, yeah, Casino Royale, as much as I couldn't wait to see Casino Royale because of the way it was set up and the way it opened, and I loved the first half of it, and I started to get bored with the poker scenes. I'm like, is this James Bond or the worldwide tournament of poker here? I mean,
stop it.
Enough with the cards already.
Stop that.
But then that last 30 minutes just drove me nuts. I'm like, okay, look. There's no way we're going to linger on Bond's retirement if it's real. The girl's betraying him. Everybody can see it. Let's just get to this and get it over with. So it was excruciating to me to drag that out. Now, to me, Quantum of Solace, picking up right where it does, is the real ending of that story. And now I go, okay, now I'm all with it. Now I feel better about Casino Royale. But Cyrus, you are right. You do need to see Casino Royale first, just because, hey, this is what sets you up for this. I got to say, I read so many negative things about Quantum of Solace, like from what the title was about to the product placement to all the things that wouldn't be in the movie. And almost everything I read was a lie. I absolutely love this movie. I mean, really, it pulled me in from the beginning. I mean, I wasn't crazy about the car chase because the guy's not the best action director, because a lot of times, you know, it just shot too close. You couldn't see what's going on. But the times he got it right, I thought we were dead on. And it was like he had this great script for James Bond. He said, yeah, it's good, but I want him to either kill or kick somebody's ass every 15 minutes. Now, go back and
Carlyle, wipe his brow and then give your review.
If this movie has one flaw, it's also something that's going to bring in a lot of people that had issues with the last movie, and that's that they pretty much stole whole hog the pacing of the Bourne Identity movies. The whole kind of where we start off and we're running from something. We're, oh my God. And then we take a breath. We're like, okay, catch our breath and get a moment of plot. And oh my God, somebody's just come through the door and he's shooting everybody. Oh my God. And then we calm down again. And then we get another piece of plot. And then we're on the run again. And it's like that the whole movie. It's just bam, bam, bam. And some people are easily going to find that repetitive, while other people are just going to be hooked in the whole time, just eating it up, because there is a lot of information to digest here, and they never, ever let it get bored.
The problem is that the first movie is actually actually about James Bond. It's about how he starts. It's interesting because of all these things about him, who makes him the character, the person who he is.
Boring.
And this one is ostensibly that, but it's not about that at all. It's about, sure, it has more action scenes, but there's not a single action scene in here that's even half as good as any of them in the first film.
Bullshit.
Partially
Bullshit.
because
Bullshit.
the editing
Bullshit.
is so tight, you cannot tell what's happening. It's
Bullshit.
half-second cuts, and it's just not fun to watch.
Well, see, this is where I agree with you. I don't think that this guy is the best action director. As a matter of fact, they stole a scene from the first, from Casino Royale, the whole foot chase on the rooftops and whatnot. They did the same thing in here, and I still think the first one was better. But in this movie, I like this film. Don't get me wrong. I think it's fun, but I think it's a little more shallow than Casino Royale. And the reason why is because people said, well, those naysayers that didn't like the movie, they said, well, it could have used more action. It was a little slow in this part. So it feels like they just crowbarred action scenes in here. I mean, it's just James Bond just sitting down and have a drink. That motherfucker gets up running for no reason. It's like people be like, why you running, man? I was running because you were running. I don't know.
Well, this just feels like an old school James Bond.
Well, hold on. Let me finish here.
No, it's not.
No, see, here's the deal. Is that they promised us a new James Bond. I mean, after years of the same James Bond movies, they said, okay, you got it right here. James Bond is more of a character. It's a little more realistic. With this one, they did go back to just saying, okay, people want action. We're just going to have an action scene in this film. Now, the reason why I had a problem with that is because there is no buildup. It just seems like every action scene has the same tone. And it's getting ridiculous in some scenes, too. Now, for those more fantastical James Bond movies, that's great. I'm fine with that. But it gets to a point where it's just dumb. They're like, we got a hotel built out of explosives. Yeah. Why? So we can blow this shit up for an action scene.
In the middle of the desert.
Who's going to go to this fucking... Yeah, who's vacationing in the middle of the fucking desert? What is out there?
And why is it like one section of the hotel blows up, which sets a chain reaction because of the fuel system it uses that blows up the whole thing?
Yeah.
Who approved this design?
I feel like I'm living in a cuckoo clock because I remember arguing with you guys till I was sweating about how ridiculous Die Hard 4 was, and y'all are like, "Oh no, but that was fun. That's the science of an action."
Did you argue with me about that? Did I not say that I could not take it? Everybody jumped on me for saying he jumped on the back of a jet. Oh, that's John McClane. He can do that now.
That is a John McClane movie. That is a Die Hard movie. After Casino Royale, which tried to say, okay, this is Bond. If this could really happen in the real world, this one just said, fuck it. Now we'll just give the Pierce Brosnan Bond.
Now here is where I really disagree with you guys, because the thing is, this does have a lot of the new James Bond in it.
It sure does.
Two of the things that I particularly love about this film is, one, they go to great lengths to develop the relationship between Bond and M, which is something we've never seen and is done really well. There's this whole kind of almost mother-son thing going on while you're dealing with the fact that this guy's a rogue agent. The second thing is that there comes a point in the movie where you start begging and just praying that Bond doesn't kill the next guy so that he can actually get some information out of him, because Bond, who has been known for 40 years to, shoot first and ask questions later, now they're actually working that into the story that maybe that's not the best way to be a secret agent. And he pays for that. And I love how you feel that throughout the movie. And they really get into that with a lot of very small, subtle stuff while they've got the action stuff there. This has some deep stuff to it. It's not just action for the sake of action, but it's got all of those elements combined.
Except both those things are copied from the first movie that resolve both those issues in the first movie, so it's kind of stupid they're happening over again in the second one.
Dude, change the record already.
And,
one minute it's not consistent, the next it's copying. Come on, make up your mind.
No, it's copying in a way that they already resolved those things. They dealt with those, and they're going back and they're doing it, and they're being schizophrenic about it. It's like they have M saying one thing, doing another. It doesn't even make sense in its own context.
Let me defend him real quick, because I hear what he's saying. I mean, I'm not going to just break it down on copying and being inconsistent. It, like I said, it did copy some things from the first movie that worked, which is what I said. I mean, Daniel Craig is a great James Bond. I mean, he still brings that to this movie. And that's one of the things that works about this movie. He's great as James Bond. Now, granted, when he's talking about I'm out for revenge for my love, he never shows that shit. He's talking to some dude like, yeah, I mean, he's cold. I mean, he looks the same. He's like,